Hello. Hi, everybody, and happy Sunday. How are we all today? I am doing okay. I've had this pesky headache since like 4:30, I think, ish. And it's kind of like come and gone, but it's coming back on again. So may have to pop out of here to go, and I don't know, grab something. I think there's Advil in this other room, so I might try that. We'll see. Tonight, I am starting the final edits of Mistress of Shadows. So we are actually switching gears. I know that the title of tonight's live stream says Writing My Vampire Romance, but today we are actually working on Mistress of Shadows yet again. I got my edits back. I am in talks with my cover designer. She has availability in September, so we should get cover design things up and running very, very soon. I am excited. All right, Felicia's here. Unfortunately, my area is dealing with surge heat waves. Oh my goodness. It is humid today where I am. We've had a couple rainstorms the last few days come through sporadically, and so it is quite moist outside. Oh, I don't like that word. I'm exhausted. So am I. Despite, um, not despite, but besides the headache, I'm also very tired. Tomorrow, I have work yet again. I am back into the swing of things mostly. I have started back at my day job. School officially starts Wednesday, so teachers are back and at it tomorrow. We have Meet the Teacher tomorrow night, and Tuesday is freshman orientation. So I have a couple busy things going on as far as work goes. So I do not plan to stay up much later than our live stream just because I think I'm going to need the sleep going into this week. So we are going to do our normal 3 sprints, 20 minutes each, and then it'll probably be straight off to bed for me. So I think that'll be it. I have to say though, I think I finally figured out how to work these lights that I use. My skin is looking great considering it usually looks crazy because I can never quite get the lighting just right in this room. Part of it's the room, and the lights already existing in here. And then some of it I know is me not knowing exactly how to use these nice studio lights I have. But tonight seems to be better. Jen is here. Hello, Jen. Jen, what are you working on? So glad I actually made a stream. You and I have been playing tag here because I have also been missing quite a few of yours, and I've been so busy that I'm not at all caught up on my normal YouTube channel watching. So I'm also behind on watching your videos. I am slowly getting caught up. This weekend is the first where I felt somewhat put back together. I successfully scheduled out all of my Instagram content today. I am stoked because that hasn't happened in a while. I've been very much missing from social media. I have been checking it, so I'm not gone. I've been checking it daily, but I'm missing as far as like posting goes and interacting with people and comments. So I'm excited to get back into like a normal schedule. It's a little luck editing crazy time. I need to make good progress on part 4. All right. It seems like it's all going so fast. Maybe it's just because I've been missing so much of your content, but it just seems like it's going so fast that you're already moving on to a little luck and you're in editing now. That's crazy. All right. Let me make sure that I have, speaking of editing, I have to make sure that I have both of my drafts here, and it looks like I do. Perfect. There's the style guide. Okay. It is, yes, it definitely goes really quickly because I feel it's weird that my own series is coming to an end. It feels like it's gone really fast also, so I know exactly what you mean. There's like 65 days left until publication day or something. Woo! Oh my gosh. I looked today at my own and I think I have a little over 2 months before Mistress of Shadows is out. And then from there, it is a little under a month later from there, that Winter Witches is out. So, man, lots of things coming in the fall. So many things. I'm already just a little tired thinking about it, but also really excited. I am definitely excited about it all. I do plan on making a video about um, everything I've learned while publishing a series. I've written other series before, so I'm not new exactly to that, but writing and then publishing them is different, and there are some things that I do differently now than when I started and would have made things go a whole lot smoother if I'd started that way. So, I plan to record a video for Wednesday-ish. I say Wednesday-ish because yesterday my Wednesday video from not the last week, the week before, got posted. So I can't necessarily guarantee any of my, I can't really guarantee a lot of my dates. The vlogs are easy. The special videos that go up on Wednesday sometimes take a little more effort or like conscious planning. So I can't necessarily guarantee when they will go up at this point just because of how busy I am. I also start my class because I am going back to school to get my certification to be a therapist. I start that next week, so not this coming week. My gosh. I am taking a class called Abnormal Psychology. I'm very excited about that. It's going to be very informative for sure. Looking forward to it, but I'm not exactly looking forward to all of the time, and I'm going to have to be very very well planned out for sure to keep up with it all, but I am excited to take the class. Okay. Ooh, the one thing that I forgot to put up is our timer. So let me get 20 minutes on the clock here. Okay. Perfect. All right. So there's our timer. I say let's go ahead and jump into the first sprint of the night. Like I said, I am going to be editing for Mistress of Shadows, the final book in the Guardians of the Six Gate series. And I actually haven't started that yet. I haven't done any editing yet today. I've been kind of taking it easy. I've been doing all my planning pieces and social media and marketing stuff. I spent a little time researching and planning the Kickstarter campaign that I have planned for September. That will be raising funds to go towards Winter Witches, especially like the marketing portion. And I think that I think I nailed down a vendor to provide a really cool product for incentives on that Kickstarter campaign, something that you won't be able to get anywhere else. So I'm really excited about that. Don't want to spoil that yet because I still need to nail it down. But did a lot of planning things today, so I have not sat down to write. And I am kind of excited to get back to this story. So I will be starting at the title page of Mistress of Shadows. So I say, let's go ahead and start with our first sprint of the night. Yes. All right. 20 minutes is on the clock. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Okay. I am into chapter 3 as far as my editing goes. So, feeling pretty good. How has everybody else done? How do we feel? Are we getting a lot of work done? I need some water. My throat is dry. I think it's from being back at work. There's been a lot of like discussion and like I just am talking more than I'm used to. So, holy moly, I think I might need to get some cough drops or something. Whoa. We'll see how much I can get done tonight. We have 2 more spreads. If I'm able to get through almost 3 chapters per sprint, then I can get a pretty good amount of work done tonight. I'm hoping to do a little bit every day, probably every night after I'm done at work. That way I can finish my edits this week and I can do my final, I need to do formatting, and then I'll have a final page count to send to my cover designer. So that's what I'm hoping to accomplish, is get some of that done. I also want to do like I did in the past with Winter Witches, and I kind of want to release chapter by chapter. I sort of want to release the book on my Patreon. I just think it'd be kind of fun. That's what I did with Winter Witches. I did the early draft on Patreon. I don't know. Maybe that's something I'll just reserve for those, my more contemporary books. Maybe that's something I'll just do with that. Just to keep things consistent. Rita said I jumped in and got some thoughts out on paper. Guess what book I started reading last night? Oh my gosh. What are you reading, Rita? I just started reading another Kathy Center book. It's just over here. I forgot the title of it though. I don't know. I might have to go look at it, but I'm loving it so far. It's a good, I like to try to space out the more serious books with some lighthearted stuff in between, or else sometimes it's like it's all really heavy, and it weighs me down a little bit. So sometimes I need to space things out. Jen said, got some of chapter 29 done. Whew, good for you. How close are you to finishing all your edits, Jen? Guardians of the Six Gate. Thank you, Rita. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you can finish the series in time when Mistress of Shadows is out in October. That'd be kind of fun. I know that a lot of people don't like to read a series unless it's a completed series. So I am kind of curious if my readership of those books will go up as soon as I release Mistress of Shadows. I'm not sure if it'll be like a draft, like any drastic's not the right word, but if it'll be noticeable, I guess is what I mean. But I'm curious to see if there is some kind of change, if more people are picking that book up after the final of the series is out. So I guess we'll see. But thank you so much for reading. Thank you. Thank you. It's a huge compliment. Jen says, I have a deadline of the 16th to get my 3rd draft done, all my rewrites and bigger edits. Before I dive into my line edits for the rest of the month, I have until September 15th to polish. Okay, that's not too bad. It's the 13th today. So depending on how much you can do every day, I believe in you. You can do it. And then it goes to your proofreader. Yes. Whoa. I need to take a look at, speaking of editors, I still need to take a look at my editor's schedule for Winter Witches. I originally had thought of trying to go real low budget and use somebody else, but I decided I trust my editor too much and I want to do the best that I can with all of my work. So I am going to go ahead, just like usual, and have my editor look at it. I did do the cover myself for this one using character art by a wonderful artist I found on Instagram. She actually reached out to me wanting to work with me because she likes working with authors and doing that kind of character art. So I took her up on it. Really happy with the work that she does. I like the style. That was definitely the kind of cartoon-ish style I was looking for the cover of the book. Really happy with the way that that came out. I have not adjusted any of like the sizing or anything yet because I'm kind of waiting to see what final page count and everything looks like. I do have a scene I'm planning to go in and adjust. I originally had pulled out that part of the scene and I decided let's put it back in because I kind of missed it. So I'm going to put it back in. Jen says, I have about 80% of part 4 and then all of part 5 to get through still. Woo! You can do it. I believe in you. All right. What do we say to the second sprint? Don't forget to like the stream and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I recently have had, I think like 10 or 15. I think my analytics on the studio app, I think it said that I'd gained like 16 or something followers pretty recently. So that was exciting. If you are one of those, thank you so much. If not, go tell your friends to come and join us and they can come hang out on Sunday nights. Also, second sprint on the way. There's our clock. 20 minutes up on the clock. All right. So we're going to go ahead and keep on moving through these sprints because I am starting to get a little tired. I'm not sure how long I will last tonight. So I'm going to try to get as much as I can done, do my sprints, and then go off to bed so I'm ready for a work week. So that's what we're just going to power right on through. Okay. Sprint number 2 up on the clock. 20 minutes. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. So I am into chapter 4. I hit kind of a period where I needed to do a little bit more editing. I had to make some adjustments. So I was thinking very deeply, but so far, so good. How was everyone else's second sprint? We are more than halfway into the night. We have one more sprint left, and then we will be closing things out. Whew. We talked a little bit about every, well, maybe we didn't talk a ton about it. I think it was just because Rita said she's reading Guardians of the Sixth Gate. What is everybody else reading? Um, what is that book called? Let me look. Okay, it's Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. That is what I'm reading. It's really interesting. Um, I liked The Bodyguard a lot, which is the first book of hers I read. They're just really lighthearted. They're kind of like Hallmark-ish romance. So, um, really like them. I really like the way Catherine Center writes. It's very cute, to be honest. Love it. So that is what I am reading currently. I'm planning to move on to the Throne of Glass series. That's, I think, what I'm going to read next. I just know that I am so busy right now that I can't devote the time I'd really like to that series. So I'll move on to that, I think, after I finish this one. It may depend. I may actually read another contemporary romance I just picked up. It's much more YA, the one that I picked up. So I might do that first. It kind of depends on how quick I move through Hello Stranger. Jen says, I've been meaning to start Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, the second of the Red Rising trilogy. Yes. And for days now, but writing has taken precedence. I hear ya. I looked through my Goodreads and I tallied, and I think this out of the last like 4 or 5 years, this has been the year I've read the least amount of books. So far, I'm only at like 12, maybe 13, which is pretty low for me. I've been writing a lot this year, which I love. That's my favorite thing is writing. So I am happy in the one sense that I am writing, but in another way, I'm kind of sad I'm missing out on all the books because I have so much on my TBR to get to, and I know it's going to take me forever at the rate I'm moving. Jin said, second sprint was good, almost done chapter 30. Woo! I slowed down quite a bit, but I was starting to get more comments from my editor, more notes. Thankfully, the notes are all really nice. I also had to stop and I took pictures of a couple places because I plan on using quotes that were in those chapters. So I had to hit pause and go record the quotes somehow. So I just took a photo. That way I can add them later to use on social media and everywhere else. Rita said, writing in my series notebook, I finished revising book 2, then began with book 1 last month. I'm finding lots of differences. I need to fix that before drafting book 3. Woo! That is something that I had to make adjustments for, and I'll talk about that in my What I've Learned publishing a series. Those kinds of things, keeping consistency across the series can be kind of difficult sometimes, and I had to develop some tricks to keep the voice of the book the same because it's the voice that tends to change the most for me. And I also think for a lot of authors, I've definitely noticed some like tone shift when I read some series where I can tell this author hasn't, this author took quite a break from one book to the other, and it shows. So I've had to develop different ways to maintain that. That can be difficult, especially if you catch it after the fact. For me, reading is breathing. That is the easiest way a good way to put it for me too. I think the quote I heard that's really stuck is that I think it's reading is like inhaling and writing is exhaling, putting all your emotions out onto paper. I love that. And that's definitely the way it feels for me. I feel re-energized when I read. It's a way for me to recharge, um, for me to relax. That's how I do self-care, is usually just sitting with a book and reading for pleasure. And writing is how I kind of let go of stuff. I feel like I'll feel like I'll tensed up, and as soon as I write, it kind of just goes. So I think that's a good way to put it for me. Ooh, I have hiccups. Hmm. So, does everyone else have a busy week like I do? I have a super busy week coming up. I think I already said it a little bit. Tomorrow is a normal work day. We have meet the teacher at 6 p.m. That'll mean for a really late night. Tuesday, also a normal, well, no, Tuesday's not a normal work day. Tuesday, we have freshman orientation. So we are running an event in the building. The afternoon is going to be like a normal work day. But for us in the counseling office, the few days leading up to the start of school tend to be super busy with students trying to get enrolled for the first day of school. And then, of course, there are plenty of people who won't enroll themselves until the very first day of school, or won't even realize school has started until the second week, and then they show up. So it's going to be a very busy week for me. I like that expression. Yes. And that's not one I made up. That's one I saw online. I think it's a quote from somebody else. I wish I remember who, but I don't. But I really like that. It definitely seems to ring true for me. And that's how I explain it to people now sometimes when they ask uh, why do I spend so much time writing when I'm exhausted all the time? Jen says I've got a bit going on, but my August is mostly just writing now, outside of my actual job, of course. Yes. August is so crazy that in my family, at least, we don't make any plans in August. We just plan to do the bare minimum, which is doing the day job. I'm getting used to that because it will be so overflowing and busy. And there will be so many things that we have to do last minute because we won't know about them until last minute, and problems we have to fix. And so, August, I plan to do just about absolutely nothing, which is why I was trying really hard to get the vampire romance finished at the very beginning of August before we started back to school, because I was worried that, just like kind of I am now, that I'd go an entire week or two, which I've now done, without writing. And I was worried about falling out of the practice a bit and losing that voice, like I'd mentioned. So, definitely going to have to come back around to the vampire romance. I'm going to have to do a couple sessions where all I do is sit with it just to get used to um, the flow of that particular book. So, we will see. As long as it doesn't become like Mistress of Shadows, where it took me the entire spring to write it, I don't think that will happen with the vampire romance because it's not quite as long. I can already tell. Mistress of Shadows, only because I have it open in front of me, is 414 pages. So it's a longer one. And it'll be more than that page wise when I actually size it down in formatting too. So it'll be more pages. It's not going to get any longer. Well, that's actually not true because I have not done the back matter yet. I need to do the acknowledgments and stuff. Still have to write that part. And I promise I will use the right peak. Except there won't be, well, I'll probably will include a sneak peek of something. I'm trying to decide. I think just because, well, maybe I won't do a sneak peek because the books I have coming up are much more grown up they're not young adult, they're more new adult. There's a little bit of like sexual content in it, more than what the Guardians of the Six Gate series is, even though there are some sexy bits near the end. I don't know that putting a sneak peek at the end of a young adult book for a much more adult book is very appropriate. Or I don't think it's not appropriate. I just think it's very misleading. So maybe I'll do something else instead. Rita says, thanks for hosting. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for joining us, Rita. Thank you for reading Guardians of the Sixth Gate. I hope you like it. Have a good week. I hope everybody has a nice week. I will probably not be doing a whole lot at all and reading as much as I can. Just at the end of the day, take a deep breath. I do have a couple things on top of all the work stuff. I have a few weekly appointments to get to, and I'm also going to try to squeeze in after work sometime this week, going to visit that vendor that I think I'll use for the Kickstarter. I have never done a Kickstarter, so all of August and a lot of July, I've been doing research on what successful campaigns have looked like. I've just been browsing Kickstarter a lot for other bookish campaigns, looking at their common incentives and rewards and stuff, and really just mimicking a lot of that, but also having to consider what's within my budget and what I think you guys would like. So I do already have some of that stuff that I'm planning to offer. And so I have already paid for some of the stuff I'll put in Kickstarter just because I think I'd use it regardless. So no harm done, but we will see. I'm thinking for like a mid-September launch. That way I have the money, hopefully, if the Kickstarter, if I hit the reward, not the reward, if I actually hit my goal, that I'll be able to put the money from that towards my editor, and some of the extra funds will go towards reimbursing the cover art. And if there's anything extra, my plan is to push some of that for the future projects. If it works really well, I'll probably do another Kickstarter for the vampire romance. But whatever extra I have, I would kind of like to divide up between just my finances, keeping it there for the future, and then also some towards marketing. So we'll see. We will see. Like I said, I've never done that before. So I'm still researching. I have reached out to Katie Wismer. She's Kate's book date on YouTube. She just ran a Kickstarter campaign and it was very successful. And I kind of monitored what the days leading up and then after and during looked like. I looked at how she was promoting it and getting momentum. And I did reach out to her about how she did it. And she said that she was actually planning to do like a video on it because she's done a couple Kickstarter campaigns now. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm hoping that that video is out before I launch my Kickstarter, just in case there's something in there I haven't found. We'll see. Okay, it is 9:30. Starting to fade a little bit. I want to at least get through chapter 4 and maybe chapter 5. So let's move into our last sprint of the night. Hopefully, we are all going to end on a really good one. Kickstarter is definitely intriguing and recently had been garnering a lot of tractions with self-published authors. I have also noticed that. I think maybe some of that started because Brandon Sanderson does a lot of Kickstarter campaigns and they are very successful, and it's a way for him to get like exclusive content out. So very smart on his part. But I have also noticed that there's a lot of self-published authors on there, and there's like a growing niche of people that are on Kickstarter specifically looking for new self-published authors to back them. And it's really fascinating to me. Don't know a whole lot about that niche, but I know that there are people there. And I'm hoping that using Kickstarter can just open another avenue of readership for me, a whole other group of people I haven't been able to reach on some of my other social media accounts, maybe. So hopefully, hopefully I'll be able to at least hit the minimum goal, I'm hoping. For sure. His big one was great. Yes. Oh my gosh. He's been very successful on Kickstarter. And he has a campaign going right now, I believe. I think I just saw one on there. I think it's still active. I could be wrong. Okay. So the third sprint is up on the clock. 20 minutes. Last one of the night. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. Oh, we have somebody new in the chat. Dee, hello. I should be writing too. I have been editing all evening, and I haven't written all week. So I'm also a little behind. I was hoping to finish writing the vampire romance that I have scheduled to come out in the spring. I was hoping to finish writing that at the very beginning of August, and that did not happen. And then I didn't write all week. So lots of things are behind schedule here in my world also. But considering considering everything that's going on in my life and the fact that I'm publishing 2 books and all of that stuff's going well, I'm going to take it as a giant win. It's a massive win to be balancing all of those things. So I'm trying not to give myself too much grief. And when I feel like I am, I hit pause and I go do something completely else, or else I burn out. So that is something I've learned pretty recently about myself, actually, is I finally feel like I've figured out when to call it quits for the time being. I don't think I'll ever call it quits for good. That's not going to happen. But I know when to put things down for a minute. And I had to learn that the hard way. Oh, yes. Jen said, just wrap chapter 31. Going to do a bit more before I call it. I want to try sneaking in some reading before my weekend is over. I would love to sit down and read a little bit more of this book, but I just don't think I should. I know that with everything going on this week, it'll just make everything more difficult. And so it's really just not worth it. So I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to wrap things up after our live stream tonight here in a little bit, and I'm just going to get ready for bed and call it a night. That is my plan. So that is the next thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off all my lights, put all my things away. I'm going to pack up, so I just have to grab my bag and leave in the morning. So for me, because I haven't said it yet, for my session tonight, I edited all the way through chapter 6. So I got to the beginning of chapter 7. I started tinkering with it a little bit and then told myself just to leave it because I knew I wasn't going to get through all of chapter 7 and I didn't want to get so caught up in it that I felt like I had to stay up to edit it. So I edited 6 chapters tonight. I feel pretty good. And more than that, I feel really happy with where this book is so far. I know I'm only 6 chapters in, and it's a longer book, the longest in the series, but I feel really good about where this draft is, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And I know where it goes, but I can't wait to see where my editor's notes go and what she thinks, because I like it a lot. And I think that I ended on a really good note for the series. So if you haven't read the whole series yet, or at least those that are out, because it'll be a trilogy, this is book 3, go check it out so that you can join the fun with me and enjoy the ending of the series. I'm thinking about doing maybe a series wrap party, like a live stream of some kind, just to celebrate finishing the series. I think it'd be kind of a fun way to go out, especially because I haven't done a live stream book launch. I don't think I've ever done one. Maybe I did one for the arena. I'll have to look back. But I haven't done one up to this point. I would kind of like to do a launch day live stream, but it feels a little strange to just start with a random book. So I think pushing it out as like a series finale maybe would be kind of fun. I don't know everything that we would do with that, but it would be really fun, I think. So let me know, what do we think about a series wrap live stream? Such a good feeling. Yes, I'm feeling pretty good about where this book stands. And so I feel like I'm going to get a good night's sleep. And also maybe not, because I'm really excited to get to the what's next. So maybe not. Let's hope so. But anyway, I think that is where I'm going to leave you guys. As always, I'm going to go in and schedule next week. I do plan on doing a live stream next week. It'll be the first one after we have started back to school with kids. So I'm sure I will be exhausted. I'm hoping that I'll be able to sleep in that first Saturday so that I don't feel super tired doing a live stream Sunday night. So we will see how that goes. And hopefully, if you guys have big plans this week, they go well for you too. So that is everything for this week. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh my God,